This just in from the NFL. The Browns expected to start Shedeur Sanders at quarterback in their preseason opener against the Panthers, according to Cleveland.com. It's more out of necessity than anything. That's because most of their quarterbacks are hurt right now. Even Sanders has missed some time with a sore shoulder. He's been taking fourth-string reps at training camp, but Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel have hamstring injuries, and Cleveland doesn't want to play 40-year-old Joe Flacco, who is likely going to be their starter when the season begins. So Sanders is reportedly going to get the nod to start on Friday night against Carolina. Let's get Emory Hunt in here. Emory, the first thing I want to ask you is this fair to Shedeur, who has 0 first-team reps to this point?
Is not fair, Chris, and that's a great question, but this is football. And at the end of the day, get what you asked for, get it because you asked for it. You never know when those opportunities are going to come as a football player. And if you're Shedeur Sanders and if you've been trying to impress enough to where you can, quote-unquote, earn those first-team reps or second-team reps, well, here's a grand opportunity on a national stage to show why you deserve to not only earn those reps, but be really in contention for QB1 at the position. Because if we're going to base this off talent, he's the most talented one in the room, but he has started where his draft slot indicated, although we know that was kind of fickle. But this is a situation where, hey, it may not be the best route for you. It may not have been how you wanted it to arrive, but hey, you're here. Now take full advantage of this opportunity.
The Panthers reportedly are going to play their ones on defense, at least to start this game. So Shedeur Sanders might be facing a defense and a Carolina team that's expected to be much improved this season, that's reportedly had a great camp to this point. What are your expectations for Sanders when he goes out there and gets this start?
What's interesting, Chris, is that we've seen this movie before. If you go back to Sanders' history, right, you go back to his first game in college at Jackson State against Florida A&M, who was ranked at the time, did great in that ball game. You go to his first game at Colorado against a ranked TCU team that everybody expect to beat the doors off Colorado. He threw up 500 yards and 4 touchdowns in a win there in Fort Worth. So I'm expecting Shedeur to realize the gravity of this moment and to play really well, because one, he has to, because that gives credence to everyone else saying, well, see, this is why you win the 5th round. This is why you are this on the depth chart. This is why you shouldn't be a starter in the NFL. He understands the situation, so he has to go out there and play well. And I expect him to go out there and play well, because I've seen him handle these situations like this before at 2 different stops. Carolina will be a good test. Young, improving team, looking to make a statement against the Browns team, against a rookie quarterback. What a way for them to get off to a great start. But I think Shedeur Sanders, based off his history, will more than be ready for this moment.
I know how highly you think of Shedeur Sanders, even though he fell as far as he did. I know you still believe he's one of the top prospects in that entire draft class, and he might eventually show that. But how do you think this actually impacts the race to be the starter and the backup there in Cleveland, with Joe Flacco likely getting that starting nod at least at the start of the season?
You know, that's a great question, Chris, because we've seen Shedeur Sanders outperform Dillon Gabriel in practice, and all that has done is earned him more 3rd and 4th team reps, right? So he could play well in his ball game, and the Browns could still be the Browns and not do what's right by him or by the team. But I say team last, because here's the thing. If he goes out there and plays well, and we've seen him play well in practice, it won't be long before the team starts saying, hey, this is the guy that needs to be out there. We saw this back in 2012 with Russell Wilson. Remember, they had just signed Matt Flynn to a bunch of money, and next thing you know, Russell Wilson, 3rd-round pick, short guy out of Wisconsin, comes in there, balls out, and makes it undeniable in the preseason games, to where the team was like, yo, this is the guy. I don't care we paid this guy this money. He needs to start. So this is why this opportunity for Shedeur, albeit under weird situations and how it came about, it's important for him to go out there and make sure he balls out. He has to have the greatest preseason game in preseason football history to kind of change the perception of these Browns coaches that seem hell-bent on not allowing him to play himself up that depth chart, despite doing so in training camp.
Yeah, 4th team reps he's been getting. No first-team reps, but he's reportedly going to get the start on Friday against the Carolina Panthers ones on defense out of necessity because Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel have hamstring injuries. They went out, they signed Tyler Huntley today because of that lack of depth right now. But the Browns with 3 preseason games to try to figure all this out. And Emory Hunt, a strong believer that Shedeur Sanders is going to go out there and show that he is maybe the best quarterback on this roster this weekend.